Thanks for choosing us for your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Now, the former Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Dominic, is this afternoon questioning the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court following its ruling that seeks to set aside the decision of the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin. We know that the Speaker declared 4 seats in Parliament vacant following the MP's decision to run as independent candidates in the upcoming elections. The Supreme Court, in its ruling, asked Parliament to recognize and allow the 4 MPs to present their constituencies and carry out their official duties fully. The application was filed ex parte, meaning that neither the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, nor Parliament was joined to the case. Now, the case was heard by a panel of Supreme Court justices presided by the Chief Justice, Gertrude Torkornoo. But speaking on Newsfile, Dr. Ayeni says the Supreme Court erred. Here's why.
If you take 97 as it stands, there is no procedure, either in the Constitution itself or in our standing orders regarding the presentation of a petition by the, and then the whole idea that it is the political party that is affected, that has locus standi to bring, or that has the capacity to bring a suit, okay, that I think that proposition has no legal legs to stand on. So when the matter was brought to the attention of Mr. Speaker, it was within his right to invite comments. He invited comments. We all made, our input, okay, especially the lawyers in the House, including the Honorable Jogati. And then Mr. Speaker decided to respond. And it is that response which is now the subject matter, of the ruling. But I was going to say that, you see, the Supreme Court in its ruling, okay, in the haste to, make its, assert its authority, okay, the court grossly erred on 2 accounts.
Sure, sir.
Right? On 2 accounts. First of all, there was an application. The subject matter of the ruling was an application for stay of execution. Something you and I know, right, that there is no executable order or ruling. For a stay of execution, an application for a stay of execution to be well-founded. First of all, there has to be, a judgment, right, an executable judgment, and ancillary orders or orders pursuant to that judgment which are about to be executed.
The famous NDK case,
NDK,
according to the Supreme Court.
And if you go back to even 1963, Joseph and Jebele brothers and so on. All right? So
what does it mean? Explain to my viewers and listeners. What does it mean to say that the thing you can stay must be executable? What does it mean to say it is not executable?
Okay, so it must be an order. Okay, let me give, since you want the viewers to understand, I don't want to be talking to only lawyers and law students. Okay, right. But so let's take the case of an order by the magistrate, court, right, or the rent magistrate for the eviction of a tenant because the tenant has defaulted in the payment of rent, right? The magistrate gives an order for the eviction of the tenant. And then the landlord goes with bailiffs, to get the tenant evicted. That is an example of an executable order, right? Because it is an order made from a judicial authority, okay, which has the power of law to affect rights and liabilities.
Well, the majority Chief Whip in Parliament, Habib Idrisu, has strongly condemned the Speaker Alban Bagbin's decision to declare the 4 parliamentary seats vacant, calling it both wrong and completely needless.
In this 8th Parliament, we've seen about 3 different by-elections that have happened or seats being declared vacant. The first instance was Kumo, when Philip Baswa, may his soul rest in peace. The House was formally informed. The Speaker, the family came and informed him before Parliament right to Electoral Commission. In the case of Asim North, there was already a decision at the High Court before the appeal traveled to the Supreme Court level. So in this case, what the Speaker did was wrong. It was needless. He doesn't have that authority declaring seats vacant by the virtue of the fact that he thinks that when they file to contest as independent members of
Order 18 says, your own standing orders 18, Order 18 says, he can inform the House of the occurrence of a vacancy.
Yes, but he has taken the decision to make them vacant himself.
Wait.
Make them vacant himself.
He did not.
When he concluded, this is what he said. Let's keep to the text. He said, the House is accordingly so informed. He didn't say declared. He said so informed.
So, Samson, what I'm saying is that the Speaker is informing us that there is vacancy by virtue of the fact that Atufosi make a statement under Order 93, or by the virtue of the fact that the Speaker think that these members have filed to be independent members of Parliament in the 9th Parliament. You see, when I am not a lawyer, but when you look at how the Constitution is framed in Article 112, I think 5 or 6, where it says that when it's left with 3 months to election, you can't do by-election. I think it's 112 or so, 112.6.
Yeah.
You see, they did not, they see things like this, that 3 months to general election, by the virtue of the fact that NDC, they are just the psychiatric level of becoming majority in Parliament, so they must be able to sit down. No, I'm being honest.
What do you mean by psychiatric
this whole
level?
thing is well planned.
No,
you don't see you are seeing the law part of it, but you don't see the political part of it.
The
political part of it is that from day one, when we started the 8th Parliament, from the 8th Parliament, you had even come to occupy the majority.
Please.
In the 8th Parliament.
Are you saying that we are mad?
And then Speaker had to do a ruling on the composition of the Parliament to say that. I'm being honest. I'm being honest.
He's taking objection.
No, I'm taking objection to that. How can you say that we are at the psychiatric level? Are you suggesting that we are mad?
I think you can withdraw that.
No. That is unacceptable. That is unacceptable.
I think you can withdraw that.
That is unacceptable. You can't describe myself
if I cannot defend it or I cannot explain why I said so, then I will withdraw it with all due respect.
Well, still on Newsfile, Associate Professor and Head of Law Humanities at Ashesi University, Mami Mensah Ponso, on Newsfile, has been offering some clarity on what the Apex Court can do regarding the jurisdiction of the court on this matter.
First of all, as I said, I don't really think that there's an order to which a stay can apply, because I think it's not an executable order. I also not sure why that's an ex parte application. I think on the basis of the Audi Alterum Partem rule that the majority was invoking, that they should have, in full respect of that rule, chosen to give notice to the Speaker, I think. When a person who has a duty exercises their duty and you disagree with it, I think you go for a supervisory order. You apply for a certiorari or mandamus or as applicable, and that's on notice. So I'm a little stumped what the next step should be, to be honest. And again, the fact that the order is until the matter is determined, as opposed to the 10 days that ex parte applications are supposed to get. Perhaps the minority would like to request the court to review that order and bring it in compliance with the
I get it that your advice to Parliament is that they should not say because there was no executable order and this could not have happened, ex parte and so on and so forth, and that the grants, instead of for 10 days, has been given until it's turned into an interlocutory injunction, so to speak. They should disobey it. They should rather go to the same court and seek to set it aside before they proceed with what they have to do. Ex parte affoda says that even if an order or a judgment is unlawful, is wrong, you don't disobey it, correct?
Yes, I think the method of, the whole point in a judicial system is to create some finality to actions. So if everybody is to take their own interpretation as correct and disregard the courts, we'll be back in a state of nature, to be honest. And so that one of the key reasons why separation of powers has been proposed as a useful way to run a country is the principle of institutional settlement, which is a principle about finality, right? So Waldron argues that it's not really that this is the institution that will get the answer right all the time.
Well, as you know, the Supreme Court unanimously put on hold the decision by the Speaker of Parliament to declare the 4 seats vacant. Majority Leader Alexander Fayomaki spoke to the media afterwards.
Well, this is MPP. The founders of our tradition use the court to do full right. And true to it, we are Democrats. We don't believe in violence. We don't believe in mischief and unnecessary political chaos. We came to court believing that the court will do right. And indeed, the court has just done that. The rights of those MPs have been reinforced, as well as the rights of those constituents who elected them. I will leave the Ghanaian public to peruse the full ruling of the court, and then the discussions can continue. But let me thank my colleagues in leadership, especially the hardworking Majority Chief Whip, for all the support and his industry. I thank senior members of Parliament, Uncle Joe Gatti, Honorable Kennedy Japan, not the least Uncle Katie Hammond, and others who have been supporting me. Again, equally important are my colleagues in the backbench, especially those who lost their primaries. They've been with us thick and thin. The whole of last night we didn't sleep. We've been working all night. I myself, being a practitioner of our courts, made sure we put together a solid case. And this afternoon, we've had justice. Now, those NDC people who are, walking all over the place, proclaiming, if they know the law, they should now face us in the law. This is the majority leader speaking.
Well, away from that, the Gman chair, King Taki Tekos True II, has expressed worry over the impact of illegal mining on Ghana water bodies. As he says, the destruction dishonors our gods, ancestors, and the heritage we should protect as a country. In a speech read on his behalf by the Manche Ni Donkor II at the 8th School of Social Sciences International Conference on the theme Resilience, Growth and Sustainability in the post-COVID-19 era, the role of the social sciences and the University of Ghana, he said the impact of Galamsey on Ghana's water body is alarming.
Just as custodians of nature like the Gan Wulom and myself, the Gan Manche, tend to the sacred groves and the rivers, so must we as the people tend to the needs of our planet. Sustainable development ensures that we do not sacrifice the well-being of future generations for short-term gains. As we rebuild our economies in the post-COVID-19 era, we do so with deep respect for our natural resource, ensuring that our development does not deplete the land that sustains us. What we see in Ghana with the impact of Galamsey and our natural water bodies is a dishonor of our gods and ancestors. If for nothing at all, the pandemic has shown us how fragile our relation with the environment is. We must take this moment in the awakening interest in fighting Galamsey as an opportunity to reimagine how we live and work in harmony with nature. We must constantly remind ourselves, as did our ancestors, that the land we tread upon is a gift. It is the foundation of our identity. As our sustenance and our future. The social sciences can guide us in this endeavor, helping us understand how to balance development with conservation, ensuring that the Ghana state and indeed all of Ghana and the world remains a land of abundance for generations to come. In our royal courts, we know that no ruler stands alone. We are surrounded by wise counsel, by elders who speak with the voice of experience, by the Wulomon, and by scholars who build a light of knowledge. As a people privileged to be present in this post-pandemic world, we need to draw on the wisdom of the social sciences to ensure that our societies are resilient, that can grow, growth is just, and that our development is sustainable. As we stand at the crossroads in history, let us heed the lessons of both our ancestors and the social sciences. Let us build a future that honors our past, that hits up everything, every citizen.
On illegal mining, the deployment of the military to fight illegal mining is proving to be an action in futility, as illegal miners are seen returning to continue activities on major water bodies just few days after a military swoop. Over 100 armed military personnel were deployed to various water bodies in a renewed effort to clamp down on illegal mining activities locally known as Galamsey. However, freelance journalist Edem Strem, speaking on Newsfile, reports that checks on the Bri River and other major water bodies 3 days after this military swoop shows activities of illegal mining ongoing actively. We'll hear from him shortly, but first, here's my colleague Maxwell Gwagba with a wrap of what happened on day one of the military swoop. He filed this report.
Well, so in some minutes, the military is going to blow up that earth-moving machine that was being used to mine in this forest, and it asks us to lie down this way, and that is what they're going to use to blow up this machine. He's counting down 3, and then he'll blow it up. It's going to be so loud. Down, go down. Okay, now you go.
This is not a war zone. The explosion you just heard was from soldiers using explosives to destroy an excavator in the forest near the Bri River.
Explosion that just happened here, and one of the soldiers tells me that there's nothing that can be done about this machine again. It can never be used again.
Other equipment, including water pumps and champagne machines belonging to illegal miners, were also destroyed and set ablaze.
Part of the marching orders to the military on this Operation Halt campaign against illegal mining is to destroy every illegal mining equipment used in mining in water bodies. And that is exactly what personnel here on the ground are doing.
The journey through the thick forest was long as soldiers searched for illegal mining sites along water bodies. With the help of drones, they were able to locate and target these sites.
Well, this is the heavily polluted River Brim, looking very brownish in color. It is a reflection of the state of Ghana's water bodies.
Now I'm in a naval boat with military personnel on the Bri River, heading towards a site where several champagne machines are operating. The soldiers are tasked with destroying all of them, and here they did exactly that. Using large hammers, the soldiers destroyed the champagne machines that illegal miners were using to extract gold from the river. It is part of their mandate to destroy any equipment involved in illegal mining on water bodies in the country. The commander of the Joint Task Force Operation Halt 2, Colonel Eric Tinedu, says the main focus of the current operation is to stop the water pollution caused by the illegal miners.
In all, we were able to destroy about 18 champagnes that were on the water bodies, and then about 10 machines, water pumping machines also on the water bodies. This is an effort to help bring back the color of our water bodies. And so it will continue. Just like I said, it's the first phase. So the first phase is 2 weeks. Maybe after that, another 2 weeks, another 2 weeks, until all the water bodies are covered. But then I have told you that we are covering all the water bodies.
Well, here's freelance journalist Adam Stray on the current state of activities on the Bri River and in the water bodies.
This is Gman, and this is the Bri River. So after the soldiers went to sack the miners on the Bri River, just 3 days after they came back, the miners came back with regard for no authority, no regard for security agencies, no regard for anything, not even the king of Achim. So this is the Bri River that has been heavily polluted.
But the Achim fans were bent.
Well, the Chamfans were burnt by the soldiers, but you see, the Chamfans are easy to make. They are easy to make. So once they get the, all that you need is to get some, the barrels, about 4 of them, and then you put some wooden slabs on them, and then you fix the Chamfan machine on it. You are good to go. It takes about some 4 or 5 hours to fix.
Right.
So even if, and the Chamfan is cheap, so even if they burn hundreds of them, they will still buy hundreds of them because it's cheap and it's easy to fix.
But Adam has a solution that he believes can help in the fight against illegal mining. Let's listen.
That is why I always say that to stop them from mining on the rivers, we should buy the agricultural drones, the big ones, pour hot water inside, add pepper, and then fly over the rivers and spray them with the pepper. Once it enters their eyes, I'm sure they won't come back.
An interesting proposition there.
Away from that, a Canadian NGO supporting rural women in agricultural communities has identified illegal mining or Galamsey as a significant economic threat to women in cocoa farming. Samuel Apenting, an agricultural risk management specialist for Soko Devi, explained that many women in rural areas have seen their cocoa farms destroyed by illegal miners. He also noted that securing labor to help with their farming activities has become increasingly difficult. Joseph Obeng reports.
Speaking at a debate to commemorate the 2024 International Rural Women's Day at Dumpasi in the Adansi North District, some of the farmers shared experiences of how their lives have been affected by Galamsey.
The cocoa plants are affected by the trucks they use to degrade the earth. Even the waters we use to water our cocoa plants are destroyed, and it is affecting we the women who farm. We rather have to take water from our houses to the farm, and that makes us tired. The activities of Galamseyers have severely impacted our communities, causing devastating environmental degradation. Our water bodies have been polluted, and the roads leading to our farms have been destroyed.
The day was celebrated under the theme, The Empowered Rural Woman, a Healthy and Prosperous Community. The aim is to empower about 3,000 women above age 36 and some thousand youth between the ages of 18 to 35 at the end of the project period. The agricultural risk management specialist for Soko Devi, Samuel Apenting, said women play enormous community roles and provide support for a number of families, so their livelihoods should be protected.
Yeah, the Together project of Soko Devi is basically supporting women. The challenges that the farmers are facing are climate risk, financial risk, and then market risk, and also even human risk. Because of Galamsey, most of the farmers do not get labor to work in their cocoa farms. Most of the youth in these communities are embarking on Galamsey, said that they cannot even get labor to work on their farms. And as a result of that, it's being impacted on the cocoa. Apart from the lack of labor that these farmers are experiencing, Galamsey is also spoiling their farms and the water that they even need to embark on their farming activities.
Gender equality facilitator for the project, Lillian Kutiru, said women are being taken through leadership development, building entrepreneurial skills and supported with startup assistance.
With the Together project, which we are working with cocoa farmers, 1, to improve the cooperative system, 2, get women to be more involved in the cooperative system, 3, address environmental challenges and also address agri-risk management issues there. You will see that gender is a mainstreaming issue in all of them. And we are targeting 3,500 women out of this project, of which we should have a substantial amount of youth also benefiting from it.
Joseph Oben's reports for Joy News.
Well, 6-year-old Jabad Donley, accused of murder and imprisoned due to doubts about his mental health, has been locked away in Wa prison for 17 years, forgotten and neglected. Well, despite no traceable documents relating to his charges, his condition worsened over time. In a breakthrough ruling, the Wa High Court, led by Justice Yusuf Asibe, has ordered his immediate release after Legal Aid Commission intervened. According to Joy News' Upper West Regional correspondent Rafiq Salam, well, his 2 wives, believing him dead, have since remarried.
Jabad Donley, then 49 years of age, was accused of murder and being tried at the Wa Court for the offense. There were, however, questions regarding his mental sanity, and the court made orders in that regard. Ever since the orders were made by the court on his mental state, no proceedings were made from the time to date. He was therefore staked at the Wa Central Prison at the pleasure of the President for the past 17 years. The Legal Aid Commission, through its Public Defender's Division, undertook an exercise at the Wa prisons where they were informed about his situation. Lawyer Crispin Wallace-Zieka is the Upper West Regional Director of Legal Aid Commission.
Very fortunately, when we came to court today, the High Court heard the application, and what is exciting is that the Office of the Attorney General supported the application that we brought, and at the end of the day, the High Court magnanimously granted the application and ordered for his immediate release.
He disclosed that all documents regarding the murder charges leveled against him could not be traced.
In fact, we cannot even trace any of his criminal record proceedings, charge sheet, any of those things is difficult to trace. So he essentially was locked and forgotten. And so that is what is exciting, and that is what you describe as the good news that has happened today at the High Court in Wa.
Jabad Donley could not believe the judgment that was passed for his new freedom and life.
I am very excited. The judge and all the people who helped me, I don't have anything to give them, but God will reward them.
One prison officer who brought the issue of Jabad Donley to the fore is Assistant Superintendent of Prisons Al-Hassan Majid. He first reported his deteriorating condition to the Upper West Regional Commander of Prisons, who gave him the orders to do his possible best for his release. This he started with contact tracing of his relatives in the Wa West District, where he was shockingly told that Jabad Donley was not alive.
I contacted a lot of lawyers, and like I said, Lawyer Crispin of Legal Aid has done so much in this case. When I contacted him with the guy, so he took it up. And then the state attorney, I think Lawyer Hammer and then Joanne, they've all done a very good job. They took up the case, assured me, if I'm able to get his relatives, they will see how best they can work, and we'll get him out of this place. So he told me to do anything that I will be able to do legally to get him out, because his condition or situation is highly pathetic. So I took up the case, trying to do contact tracing. And I think one person to our comment is Abudu Wasela Tusio. She is from the district in which he is coming from. So she led me to the district and went to the village, where we went to trace it. In fact, we used almost 3 days in search of his relatives. And when finally we had the relatives, the information is that they thought he was even dead. He left his children. The oldest was about 3 years old. And all of them, when later we were able to contact the children through WhatsApp, all of them said that they told them their father is dead. As we speak, some of them are trying their best just to come and see the father. Whilst inside, he told me that his wish is to see his children, even if you die here, at least just to see them.
The next step for now is for his integration into the community and call on the people to give him the needed support.
We are appealing to the residents of Wild West, especially his community, Ponya Mairi. They should be ready to receive him. I think fortunately he has learned a trade. I'm sure you know one of the mission of the service is rehabilitation. He has learned a trade, and that is weaving. He can do all manner of weaving. So just with little support of getting the weaving equipments, by the grace of God, you will be able to train more people. Anybody who is able to see or hear me should be able to come to his aid, to support him so that you reintegrate. 17 years in prison. And I'm telling you, this is his 3rd time of coming out, the whole 17 years. The 2 times we took him to the regional the hospital for a medical examination. And the second one was to go and do another examination.
Jabad Donley, at the time of his arrest in 2007, was having 4 children. 2 are now deceased. His 2 wives have now remarried after they were told he was dead, locked, forgotten, and now released. He has tasted the rough side of life and hoping the remaining years will be better. Meanwhile, the High Court will begin on Friday the trial of the case of the murder of the owner of Jabad Dubai, Eric Johnson. 3 persons, including prime suspect Eliasa Mahama, are standing trial of the murder of the chief executive officer of Jabad Dubai. Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam.
You're still watching Joy Newsroom. We'll be back with updates on our campaign trail. Just stay tuned in. Thanks for staying with us. We are your election headquarters, and election headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, AICPA, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. Also brought to you by German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Beauty, Chopbox Technologies, a convenience service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. Now, the NDC presidential candidate John Dramani Mahama has reacted to an NPP advertisement mocking his pledge to assist poultry farmers with chicks. Speaking during his tour of the Greater Accra region, he said the NDC is committed to fostering the growth and development of small and medium enterprises by providing essential support. He reiterated that if elected, his administration would prioritize initiatives to empower SMEs. Maxwell Gbagba has more from John Dramani Mahama's tour of the Greater Accra region.
The NDC presidential candidate John Mahama visited the Tema West, Lejukuku and Okaikwe South constituencies. He says a future NDC government will retool Ghana's security agencies.
When NDC was in power, we did the biggest retooling of all the security services. The Air Force, we bought them helicopters, we bought them aeroplanes. The military, we bought them transport vehicles, we bought them armored cars. The police, we bought them armored cars, and we gave them the largest fleet of vehicles in history. 1,000 vehicles were given to the police service. Ezu, Since then, there's been no major retooling of the security services. So you go to a police station and you call the police because armed robbers have come to your house and they don't have a vehicle at the police station. And you don't expect that they'll go and hire a taxi and say they're going to fight armed robbers. And so when NDC comes, we're going to retool the security services. We're going to give them vehicles. We're going to give them bulletproof vests so that they can protect us. Because if you take them as security officers and you don't give them the instruments with which to do their job, how can they do their job? So in our manifesto, we have indicated that we're going to retool our security services. We're going to give them the vehicles, the bulletproof vests, the weapons, the armored vehicles, so that they can fight the armed robbery menace that we are currently facing.
John Mahama says the NDC's market enhancement program will improve the state of all of Ghana's markets.
There are many other programs that we have already indicated that we'll do. And if you look in the manifesto, you see the 120-day pledge. That is our social contract. And one of them is that in the first 120 days, we'll provide the seed money upfront for the Women's Development Bank. So that our mothers and our sisters can get loans with low interest, no collateral. You don't give any collateral. So that they can build up their businesses and be able to raise money to be able to look after the family. Apart from that, for our women, we're going to do what we call the Market Enhancement Program. Everywhere there's a market, we'll engineer it properly, build it nicely, pave the floor, so that when it rains, you don't have to walk in mud to enter the market. We have to make the markets enticing so that they are happy to go there and buy things. If you go in the market, you have to step in the mud and it will soil your shoes and your cloth. Who wants to go to such a market? And so under the Market Enhancement Program for our mothers and our sisters who sell in the markets, we're going to re-engineer your markets nicely so that it is enticing for people to come there and do their shopping.
John Mahama also responded to a recent NPP advert mocking his promise to help small businesses grow, stating that the NPP lacks foresight when it comes to supporting businesses.
The other time, I said that if you wanted to be a baker, we'll help you with the equipment.
The other time I said we were going to help small businesses to grow. If you want to be a baker, we'll support you with the flour, money and everything you need. And I said those who want to start a poultry farm, we will help them with the hen coop and the chicks and the money to take care of the chicks. When they grow and lay eggs, they will make money when they sell the eggs and the fowl. Our friends in the NPP have done an advert mocking what I said, but they did not know even advanced countries reached that status through small and medium enterprises. The successful businessmen you see here in Ghana all started small. We are not shy to say we will help small and medium enterprises. Small and medium enterprises, this is your government.
Omu nyina ebe boa ni aye 24-hour economy no, but si anso enyuma nketenkete empeja omo a oman na enko bebia. Enti here there we value the small and medium enterprises, and we're going to help the business people in the small and medium enterprise sector to be able to grow their businesses. Na omo ka se enyuma nketenkete there. Some of the big businessmen in Ghana today, Kwame Despite ni Hwang and yet cassette ni CD no mo start say omotong, and sa no mo abedru baby omodri. It is a small business, you see. Echine bi almost beba be ye kese te say Kwame Despite. Omunya boafo, they can grow and become big businesses. And the end, ye ferry say, Rebecca say, ye be boa and human kete. And human kete, ma by nebe, ye be boamo, na mashe mo human kina, no more to me a peja mo humano, na a peja Ghana sikasem.
Away from that, a candlelight vigil was held at East Legon to honor the memory of 2 young girls who tragically lost their lives in a recent accident. Here are highlights.
Haji Said.
May their souls rest in peace. Now I'll leave you with this report from Jacqueline and Sumayewa. Just a wrap of what happened in the National Science and Maths Quiz. Accra Academy has qualified to the next stage of the contest.
The substance, live shadows, and no was to the truth. As a Kwame Dairy, a great family, in the early struggle, let us hold on to our aims, be steadfast and courageous to do what to make our mothers proud.
Well, we just ended with the contest with Accra Academy indeed qualifying to the quarterfinals. Well, let's find out more from them. Indeed, it started off with the Yoko Methodist Senior High School leading the contest, but as the contest progressed, they took charge and took the lead and led the competition till the end. But then let's find out more from them how they are feeling now. Now, tell me how you're feeling now.
I'm feeling so great. I mean, the boys really tried. And what I would like to say to our alumni outside Ghana and inside Ghana is that we should keep supporting the boys, because when we started, the morale was down. That's why I think the boys couldn't start well. But I mean, baby, three more say when I acquire Kontobano Bakwashan is Santi Bobakusho Musa first one. And as you can see, the rest hitting Kwana.
But how are you feeling? You know, in the first round, Oyoko Methodist was leading. How are you feeling at that point?
I mean, Sakwari has a song, but no pressure. What you say, no pressure. We are small squad, what you say. But I mean, from Ellen House, Charlie, Kaneshi, who try me by saying I'm what you say. So no pressure. Pressure before small schools. Really, if you know what you are about, you're always ready to conquer, so no pressure.
Okay, we're never now pressure. You're going to quarterfinals. What are we expecting for Accra Academy?
Poco a poco, little by little, we reach there.
Okay, all right. Well, let me speak to the contestants. How are you feeling on stage, especially looking at the first round when Oyoko Methodist was leading?
We just kept our head in the game because we knew our God was not going to fail us. He was surely going to answer our prayer, and that prayer was to win the 1-8 stage and proceed further on. So we knew our God was not going to disappoint us. So we still kept our head in the game, still staying calm.
Sure. What about you? How are you feeling knowing that they were leading?
I was feeling normal because I knew what we were doing. I know that we win the contest no matter the circumstance. So I wasn't frightened at all.
Okay, all right. Now, another old student here. Well, what's the ultimate for your school this year?
Oh, sure, you will get there.
So are you winning this year?
Oh, we will win. I trust the boys.
How positive are you guys?
Oh,
110.
We will win.
Okay, well, that's Accra Academy leading this contest. But then we have students from Oyoko Methodist Senior High School. They nearly, when the contest started, they nearly gave Accra Academy a run for their money. And they are leaving here with some 36 points. Well, how are you guys feeling right now?
We are feeling a little bit disappointed, but we try next time, that's next year, and come back stronger.
Okay, all right. Now, I remember I spoke to you earlier and you sounded so confident that your school was going to win. But, well, you guys put up a good performance during the first round. How do you feel now?
Well, first and foremost, I'm thanking the Almighty God for seeing us through the competition because it was really a tough one. And then I'm pretty much impressed with their performance. And then, God willing, next year we're going to come prepared, well prepared. And then you guys should expect more from us next year. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that's Oyoko Methodist. We're still right here at the Auditorium 900. Contest is still ongoing. We just ended with the first contest for today. There's still subsequent contests, and there'll be a live contest on Joy News right at 3 p.m. You want to stay tuned for that. Reporting for Joy News, I'm Jacqueline Ansumayabwa. Over to you back in the studio.